appreciate people coming into and buying historic homes and loving them. And I can tell by all the work you guys have done on the outside for today that you truly love it here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So they put down fresh bark dust. This was not here yesterday.
No, it
He
was
made
not.
that this morning. They've done a lot of gardening and stuff, and I just want to welcome you guys, and it's wonderful to have you in the neighborhood.
Wonderful to be here. This is known as the Joseph and Nora Fairchild House, circa 1906. Joseph T. Fairchild, I'm not sure what the T stands for. He was born to a true pioneer family. His father, Lewis Stinson Fairchild, had an adventurous life. When he was just able to walk, he went with his parents from North Carolina to Tennessee, and 4 years afterwards migrated to Missouri. This is the father now. Attracted by the mining rush, he crossed the plains by ox team for California in 1850, making and losing several fortunes during the gold craze. On October of 1862, he enlisted in San Francisco and was ordered to Vancouver, Washington. That's the start of the Civil War, where he obtained an honorable discharge from the 14th Infantry of the Washington Volunteers in July of 1865. Joseph Fairchild's mother, Mary Elizabeth Roher, left her parents' Illinois home in 1864 at the age of 16. She was newly married, and the young couple headed west on the Oregon Trail. Along the way, her husband died, and Mary was left to continue on, walking with the determination of fulfilling her dream out west. Upon arriving at Fort Vancouver, she discovered the single ladies were not eligible to get free land, but soon she met Lewis Fairchild, and they got married. 2 years later, they came to Oregon, where they lived all of their lives in Washington County, first homesteading near Gaston and later retiring in Cornelius. During that time, while growing crops and raising livestock, they also started a family with 9 kids, 3 girls, and Joseph being the oldest of the 6 boys. Joseph grew up as a farmer and soon had some land of his own north of Forest Grove, located between that of Harmon Thatcher and Oris Brown's donation land claim. In March of 1906, at the age of 33, he met and married Nora E. Laughlin of Forest Grove. 4 months later, he bought lots 14, 15, and 16 of Block 7 in the South Park edition of Forest Grove. Soon the new couple were the first to live in the house that he built on those lots. Joseph and Nora never had children of their own, but they were very family and community minded. Extended family were regularly entertained at their home. A neighbor related that the Fairchilds raised rabbits and that it was common to be invited to Sunday dinner after church that always included deliciously roasted rabbit. Nora was a dedicated and consistent church worker for years and held the office of clerk at the local Christian church. She served for 10 years as the treasurer for that congregation. Nora was always active in and was a staunch supporter of the women's suffrage movement. In 1913, the local newspaper had a front page picture of her, along with the story that Mrs. Nora E. Fairchild had the distinction of being the first woman in this city to cast a ballot at an official election. Mrs. Fairchild was at the voting booth shortly after the polls opened, marking and casting her ballot with all the sang-froid of an old voter. I think they meant experienced voter, not necessarily old. On the 4th day of October of 1956, just shortly after celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary, Nora passed away. Joseph continued to live in the house that they had shared for so long until his death 3 years later. The Joseph and Nora Fairchild house has passed through the ownership of 10 other families since then, until it was recently purchased by Bill and Megan Vincent, who had been looking for a long time for just the right place to be their first home. They fell in love with the neighborhood and this home, and we're so glad that they did, and we're very pleased that we can present them with a plaque recognizing the history of the Joseph and Nora Fairchild house.
Yay! Representing the Friends of Historic Forest Grove.
We would like to present this folder, which contains the early history of your historic house, the builder, the first family to live in this house, City of Forest Grove early history of the time period this house was built, and other history available to the research committee. Megan and Bill Vincent, the present owners of this historic house, please accept our gift to you.
Photoshop.
Happy reading.
There you go. There you go, Joyce. Bill, will you look at me?
I'm looking at the book.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Hooray.
That book will be such fun.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So Melody. Okay, so the first one is, why Forest Grove? Why this house?
We wanted obviously to find the right one for our first home, and we had gone walking through the neighborhood one day when we were getting tires done a few years ago.
2 years ago. at
Yeah,
Schwab's.
and we went all the way around. We would love to live here someday. These houses never come up for sale. It's like you guys said. You know, it was just a dream, and we both have been always just kind of keeping an eye on what was available, and it just happened just like theirs. Just here it was. We looked at it, and
Yeah, put an offer in, got it accepted, and then started the process.
immediately.
Got a big lot.
And we have a
Huge,
double lot,
huge lot.
quarter acre,
We love it.
which it's fantastic.
So what part of the house is your favorite? Which-
Outside,
Yeah.
the porch. Yeah. I like sitting right in front of the window right here actually, and just kind of looking out and seeing everything go on. But I like a lot of there's a lot of original stuff that's not inside that we'd like to try to put back at some point.
Oh, wonderful.
And we'd like to get the old floors going again.
Yes.
We've got lots of layers over those.
Yeah.
Some spots.
Unfortunately, they cut all the doors to match the new flooring, so
So we got some.
we got to redo
we
the
have a
floors
lot of
and then
stuff to
redo the
do.
doors.
Yes. Yes.
But that's kind of what we wanted. He pulled me away from the full-on fixer-uppers because I thought that
Yeah, I
sounded
didn't-
great. We wanted something we could do stuff to, but still be awesome to live in and be comfortable and all that. And this is exactly what we got. There's plenty of stuff to do and improve, and there's plenty of stuff to just enjoy as it is.